Hey, hey, come on in. Come on in. I'm waiting on a couple more people to come in before I get started. And today we're going to talk about you cannot serve two masters, okay? Mm, mm, mm. All right, so today we're coming from the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19 to 24, and I'm not going to be before you long, all right? So that's Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 to 24. And we're going to talk about serving two masters, okay? So welcome in. Before I go ahead and get started, and yeah, so we're going to go over the that you cannot serve two masters. So we'll start at Matthew chapter 6, verse 19, right? It say, do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and vermin destroy and where thieves break in and steal. So that's all of the material possessions that we have. Don't give in. Don't store up your treasures focusing on materialistic things. You want to store your stuff up in heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is here, right? It's within. So you want to store your treasures up in your mind. You want to store your treasures up in the spiritual realm, not in the material or the flesh, right? But store for yourselves treasures in heaven where moth and vermin do not destroy and where thieves cannot break in and steal, right? For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So, is your treasure in the flesh, the ego, in things that satisfy your flesh, or is your treasures in things that satisfy the spirit within you? Okay, that's what we're gonna talk about. So, verse 22 says, the eye is the lamp of the body. And that's very important because in order for you to walk in the fruits of the spirit or to possess your treasures up into heaven and not into the earthly realm, you want to uh, guard your eyes. Whatever it is that you see, you got to be very cautious and aware of what you're taking into your spirit, because what goes in your eye gates enter into your spirit, right? Even what goes into your ears enter into your spirit. So you got to be very mindful of things, conversations, or anything that is not of God, anything that is low vibrational, right? So you want to make sure that the your eye, it says the eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. That's discerning what you choose to take in. That's discerning what you choose to partake in with your eyes, even with your ears as well. But that's using your discernment. If you don't have the discernment, you allow any and everything to come into you and penetrate into your system, and then it penetrates your spirit, and now your spirit is affected by what you allow into your spirit realm, right? So if it's a lot of negativity, you gonna start speaking negativity because you allowed negativity to enter into your eye gates or your ear gates, right? So it says, verse 23, but if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. So the way you know you in darkness, first of all, you know you of light because you know that darkness is all around you, right? Darkness is everywhere. You have people that operate in the dark realm. So you know that you as being chosen are walking in light, right? But if you don't see, if you see somebody else walking in their light and you're like, oh my goodness, why is they always doing this? Why they always got to be talking good stuff? Why they always, you know what I mean? Hey England, hey Malachi. But if somebody always mad because you trying to be positive, that means they're operating in darkness. If somebody always love gossiping, that means they're operating in darkness. And we're going to go over that in a minute. All right, so verse, it says, okay, so to finish off verse 23, it says, if then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? Are you deep down the dark hole that's keeping you into misery? That's pretty much what it's doing, keeping you miserable in your situation, right? Or are you close to that light where you could still see your way, like, okay, let me get back over to this side. Let me change my thoughts. All right. So it says, no one can serve two masters. Can't serve two masters. Either you're gonna serve that flesh or you gonna serve your spirit. Which one you gonna serve? Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. So anybody that's always speaking negative, they despise good conversation. They despise good. If you tell them something good, they despise that. Oh no, then we don't want to hear that. We got too much drama going on. You ever been around somebody where you on the phone with them like, girl, my lights just got cut off, and then they be like, oh girl, my lights been off for 3 weeks. Like it's a struggle competition. They love to keep up with the struggle, but they don't keep up with the when you tell them something good, like, girl, I just did something. I just got my own business, and then they be like, they don't want to hear that. That let you know they deep into the darkness, which is serving the flesh, right? So it says, you cannot serve both God and money. Money is of a material possession. Hey, elusive enigma. So money is of material possession, right? And usually when people worship or serve money or become a slave to money, it's because they're operating in their flesh. They don't realize that who you truly are at your core in your spirit realm, you have access to an abundance, right? God made you abundant. So you don't have to worry about serving money, because you know whatever it is that you desire, God is going to provide it for you. It's already available to you. All you got to do is believe it and bring it down into this realm, right? From the spirit realm to the physical realm. But if you operate in your flesh, you trying to do fleshly things to obtain the money. So the question is then, are you a slave to your money, or is the money a slave to you? Are you a slave to your flesh, or is your flesh the slave to you? All right. So the things that we know to be sins, we're gonna look up the 7 deadly sins. Okay. We're gonna go over that because that's part of your flesh. When you're not walking in the spirit, you walking in your flesh. So the 7 deadly sins, they include. Let's see what they include. Pride. When you walk around, amen. When you walk around it with pride, like you better than everybody else, or they say pride come before the fall, right? Well, that's a deadly sin. That's you walking in the flesh or walking in the fence. That's a sin. You know what I mean? That means if you walking in a fence, you're not understanding from a godly perspective to look at the situation, to be neutral to it. All right. So first, let me explain this to you. When you start out in any situation in your life, you're starting out at a 0 point of neutrality, right? So everything that comes and be presented to you, it starts at 0. Now it's you and the decisions that you choose to make, or the way that you choose for your thought process to go, is determined on how it will be. Will it be a positive thought, or will it be a negative thought? Will I walk in pride, or will I walk in love? You get what I mean? Or will I walk in offense, or will I walk in the fruit of the spirit? So everything is neutral starting out, but it's you and your conscious or unconscious decision that you make that makes that thing higher than what it is or lower than what it is, right? Sometimes we give things more reverence than it ought to be, right? So the next one is lust. Lusting after people. Oh, I want to be married. Oh, I want to be in a relationship. Oh, I gotta have this. lusting behind anything. Oh, I want what they got. I'm jealous. Why they got that? Saying stuff like that. Uh, that's lusting after what a person has, and y'all know. Y'all out there, y'all know when people come up against y'all, they be lusting after what is inside of you, the light inside of you, and you understand why these people treat you so wrong. So you like, hey, what's going on? But they really lusting after your spirit. They're lusting after what it is that you have on the inside of you that you exude, right? But they don't want to lust behind what you had to go through to get it. You know what I mean? They don't want to go through that. So it says the next one is greed. And that goes back to not understanding. When you're walking in your flesh, you're not understanding that you have access to everything. God put you here to have a Garden of Eden experience. So everything here that is available to you, all you have to do is bring it into your realm, right? All you got to do is bring it into your realm. You don't have to go searching after it. You know what I mean? Everything should come to you because you call it and you speak it, and the power of your tongue is life or either death. So you don't have to go chasing something once you already called it into you. That's the power that God has given us, right? So envy and oh, with greed, it's like nothing's never good enough. You know what I mean? I always want the next best thing. I'm never grateful for what I have already. I want this. It's like always living in the future. Y'all ever met people like that? That's always just wanting something, and what you provide or what they get is just never enough. They gotta have more, more, more. Yeah, that's greed. Okay. Envy. That goes again after not wanting what the person had to go through to get their blessing, but they want the blessing, so they envy what other people have, not realizing that it comes with a sacrifice, right? Everything gonna come with a sacrifice somehow, some way. So sloth is pretty much laziness. Okay, I'm gonna look up that word. Sloth is like you're unwilling to do anything. Let's see. So the meaning of sloth, right? Reluctant to work or make an effort, right? So it's laziness. You ain't trying to do nothing. We want something, but you're not trying to put it in the work, right? Because God don't always drop a miracle right on your lap. Sometimes he do, but most times he just give you the strategy, and it's up to you to put one foot in front of the other and do what he said do, right? But if we don't want to do it, or if we don't want to hear what he got, if he tell us something and we ain't trying to do it right then and there, we like, okay, Lord, not that. I'll do this over here, but I ain't about to do that. I ain't about to go pray for so and so and so after they just hurt me. I ain't about to go, you know what I mean? I'm not about to go do this but I want to do this part of what you tell me, but you still supposed to give me my blessing. You got to walk it all the way out, okay? Whatever it is you got to go through, you got to walk it all the way out. Wrath, that's anger. And sometimes we can be angry from walking in unforgiveness, right? When we walking in unforgiveness, it's merely because we don't understand why people do what they did to us, and we're trying to put up a defense mechanism to shield ourselves from being hurt, right, from other people. But the anger that comes from the other people that has hurt you, you have to get healed from that, because if you don't, you cannot walk in love. Perfect love is understanding everything from neutrality, understanding both sides, both perspectives, why a person may have did what they did to you. What is their level of understanding? So it causes us to be higher. You know how they say be the bigger person? Be the bigger person spiritually, right? The next one is a glutton. Let's look that up just to be sure what a glutton is. That's right. So a glutton is a person who eats or drinks excessively or voraciously, right? What is voraciously? A person who eats, it says, in a way that is very eager to have a lot of something. You ever sat there and just binge snacked, binge ate, something was good, you had to go back and get second and thirds, knowing you was full, knowing you ain't had no business. You know what? That's why I say them all you can eat buffets, them got to be the devil. Cause they cause you to be a glutton. You see all this food that you got to choose from, and you go back, you gotta go get a little bit of this, you sampling everything, and you go get about 2-3 plates before you go get your plate of dessert, right? That it got to be the devil. But simply, you can't serve two masters. So either you gonna serve your flesh, or you gonna serve the spirit, the God that's on the inside of you. But you can't serve both of them. You can't walk around angry and mad at the world and operate in the fruits of the spirit, which is love or gentleness or kindness, right? So we really have to pay attention to where our thoughts are right now. We really got to pay attention to what we have been thinking about consciously on a day-to-day basis, because that is what's going to help you get what you want out of life. When you operate from that spiritual realm, you're more likely to get your prayers answered than it is you walking in the flesh. Because when we walk in the flesh, sometimes we don't even believe that we can attain those things that we are asking for. So we kind of give up or don't want to ask for those things because the flesh is saying you don't deserve that. But God has already said, I gave you grace. Like, that's why it's important to get in your Bible. If you don't have an understanding of who God really is, God is a God of grace and love and mercy. He's not just a God of chastisement, right? He loves you. He wants the best for you. All you got to do is submit. That is the hardest thing to do, is submit to the Spirit. And the way to submit to the Spirit is by fighting off that flesh. Every time you get a thought in your mind, it's okay. Process the feeling that you go through. Go ahead and say, okay, why am I feeling this way? Sometimes we got to talk it out loud. You remember how in school, your teacher used to make you read books out loud because that helps you to comprehend what you're reading, right? So if you talk to yourself out loud, you're able to comprehend the thoughts that's coming through your head and process it to be able to say, you know what, that's not my thought. Let me go ahead and get rid of that thought right away. And let me operate in this. Remember that? What would Jesus do? What would Jesus think? What would Jesus think, right? That's how you got to start operating today. So before it was what would Jesus do, now is what would Jesus think? Because we can easily revert to negative talk, even negative self-talk, right? But you got to start speaking more highly of yourself. And in order to know how to speak highly of yourself, open up the book. Spend more time in the word than you do around people who speak negative, because just like that Bible verse we just read said, your eyes have to be healthy. You have to guard your eyes in order to make sure that you are receiving good things and positive things in your body, in your spirit. You don't want to be receiving negative stuff, because then it's going to cause you to keep operating on a negative realm. You're going to be operating from a negative place all the time, living in the past or anxious about the future. But most of it be living in the past, living in regret, anger, hurt, bitterness. That is not the fruits of the spirits. So you have to be careful, because you cannot serve two masters. Because you're going to love one. Oh, we love the one when we in the flesh and we be talking about how tough we is and what we'll do. Oh, that's the flesh. Because I don't have to talk about how tough I am no more. When you operate in the spirit, all you know is that God is a big guy, right? God is a heavy stepper. I don't fight my battles. I give it to God. You know what I mean? If you still fighting your battles, let the flesh go and start operating in the spirit. It says serve two masters. You said serve two masters means you need to sacrifice your 10% carnal mind in order to activate the 90% right brain hemisphere, which is holy. That's right. That's the heaven, the kingdom of heaven that's within. That's the right side of your brain, y'all. So you gotta operate in that realm. If you don't, you're going to be thinking of things of the flesh, the ego. And I know it's hard because there's a lot of people out there that's living in the flesh, living in the ego. But we live in a day and time right now where you don't know who gonna snap, who gonna do what. It's better for you to be the bigger person instead of saying, well, what about them? Stop pointing the blame or pointing the finger at somebody else and start taking accountability. Well, regardless of how you do or who you are, I'm still gonna be me because this is who I am. You know what I mean? We don't have to no longer put guards up to say, "Oh no, I don't trust you. I don't know what's going on." And we put up these defense mechanisms. We spend a lot of time throughout our life operating in fight and flight mode. All of my life I had to fight. We operate in fight mode because we're fighting off things that has hurt us, right? We're fighting off dealing with the internal things that matter. We fight off everything that we supposed to be running to heal, right? And then, or we either taking flight and running from the things that we're supposed to heal. We take flight and run when God gives us instruction that we really don't want to do. We got to get out of that fight or flight mode. We're not survivors no more. You're a survivor when you in the world, right? But when you become a part of the kingdom of God, you are no longer a survivor. You are an architect now. You're a builder. You build things up. You don't destroy things with your mouth, with your tongue. You don't destroy people, places, or things, right? You build them up. Personally, sluggards are better than buckshot. I don't see how either can lead to poverty. Oh, wow, okay. So, operate in the spirit. When you operate out of laziness, uh, procrastination, that's, what do you mean that won't lead to poverty? That is poverty. That's a poverty mindset, right? Because we don't believe that we're truly capable of receiving what we asking for, so we're not trying to put the work in. When you truly believe anything that it is that you want, when you have a know that you know that you know, you're not going to procrastinate on it. You're going to take action. If Popeyes had free chicken, or if Popeyes had free chicken for 2 hours on tomorrow, you're going to make sure you show up to that line if that's where your heart is at, right? You're not going to procrastinate on that. So that means you shouldn't procrastinate on other things that's going to lead you out of poverty. A lot of things don't have to lead you to poverty, because a lot of times we start off in poverty. We come into the world and coming into sin. Think about a child. When a child is born, they're born and they have a zero neutrality to everything. They don't take sides. And then when they become kids, they're straightforward. They're gonna tell you the truth regardless. It's the programming and conditioning that people put inside of their children that causes them to go either way, operate into the negative, and this constant regurgitation of it, how they're raised. Boom, I'm gonna keep putting this negative, 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 and then the child grows up and they become a negative adult. They was born with a poverty mindset. They was born to focus on material things. If you focusing on material things, that's a poverty mindset, right? When you focus on spiritual things, because you understand that things of the material world don't even matter. Is it more than the mental health? What we read yesterday in our club was, what is it to gain the whole world but lose your soul? And that was a good session yesterday as well inside of the book club, if y'all want to join. But what is it to gain the whole world and lose your soul? You lose your soul when you're not cultivating and protecting it, when you're not utilizing it, when you push that soul to the side and you decide to operate in your flesh and your ego. And what we talked about yesterday as well was that selling your soul don't always mean signing a contract offer to an industry. It could mean that you're not doing something that you know you're supposed to do. So we got to go ahead and get into a different mindset, change our perspective, start at 0 point. Every time we feel something, okay, let me speak it out loud if I have to. Let me get into a place where say, okay, this is how I feel, and you process it. Everything don't belong in the 90% side of your brain. It only belongs at that 10, and you discard it, get rid of it, or else you'll have garbage building up in your mansion. Remember we talked about the mansion over here? from the shack to the mansion, with your different sides of your brain, the flesh and the spirit, right? So either you gonna let everything come in and let garbage build up, and then your mind be like hoarders, or you're going to process that information and then say, you know what, it's not worth it for me to operate on a fleshly level. It's not worth it for me to dim my light that God gave me, that I'm shining to the world. It's not worth it to dim that light to make appease anybody or to appease your flesh. You know what I mean? God gave you a great assignment. Walk in it. Believe that you were destined to walk in that assignment that God has given you. He's equipped everything that you need right with you, already inside you. You just got to believe that is yours. If you don't believe that is yours, you're going to keep operating in the flesh. Keep looking around at everybody else, what they got. Don't operate in that spirit of envy because you're looking around and seeing what they got. Oh, they got a brand new car. Because half the time, the people that go out there, oh, I got a brand new car. They struggling. They having buyer's remorse after 3 to 7 days. Y'all ever heard of that? Buyer's remorse? But they come around you because they got this new car and they want to show it off to you, knowing doggone well when them payments start coming in and kicking their butt, they going to be stressed. That's why I say put your treasures up in heaven. When God wants you to have that brand new car, because see, sometimes we do it out of the will of God, right? It's okay to have the desires, but when you're doing it, when you know you're not supposed to at a specific time and you ain't asked God and get permission about it, now you operating out of the flesh, and now you making more pressure be put on yourself. You're causing more to go with you. And the thing about it is this: it's okay. You might have to go through obedience. Is one path, right? Sacrifice is another. Which path you want to take, the obedience route or the sacrifice route? Because both paths gonna get you right back to God either way you go. One just quicker than the other. So if you be obedient, you're going to speed right through. That's like taking the shortcut to get to your destination, to get to where you're trying to go, to find God, right? Or you could take the long route, which is sacrifice, bump your head on the road and go through some cuts and bruises, accidents on the way. You got to get road detours and stuff. That's sacrifice. When you trying to run, that's that taking flight. When you trying to run from the calling that's on your life and you don't want to submit, that's sacrifice. Right? Obedience is better than sacrifice. The only sacrifice you should be trying to do is sacrifice your situation for your family, for your betterment, for your freedom, for whatever have you. But that is not the same sacrifice. It's you giving up something in order to gain something more. It ain't running from God. Not that sacrifice. So make sure that y'all operate in the spirit, y'all. Change your thoughts. Change the words that come out your mouth. Like I told y'all before in the other videos, y'all have to start saying that I am great. I am worthy. I am. You say that you want something out your mouth, but then you'll turn around 3, 4, 5 conversations down the line saying something that rebuttals what your prayers are, what you really desire. So now you putting it out there, but it's basically like, I really don't believe I can receive it. So that you talk it out, down. You speak up and say, I want this, but then you say, let's say we'll talk about cars since we just used that, right? We say, I want a new car. The car, $50,000. Oh, I ain't paying that much money. I don't want no car like that. Just give me a used car. That's then next thing you know, you get presented with a car that's like on his last leg. Maybe it was in the Hurricane Katrina or something. I don't know. But you're not getting what you truly wanted. You truly wanted that $50,000 car, but because you said you couldn't afford. See how you speak the negative? I can't afford, I can't. If it ain't I am, it shouldn't even be speaking out your mouth. That's how we should be at this point. And when we present it with other people, that's why it's important to get away from people who have a negative mindset, because it's easier for them to pull you back down into that negative place if you ain't strengthened enough than for you to pull them up into your space. So while you learning how to be more conscious and aware of your thoughts and the things that you speak out your mouth against yourself, negative self-talk, make sure you get away from people, TV, social media, whatever it is that's keeping you from operating from a positive place, from being in a positive. And it's going to take practice. It's not easy. It's going to take practice. You're going to have some slip-ups, but it's all right. As long as you start paying attention now, you'll be able to say, okay, you know what, I did. And then there's another thing. You got to do a spiritual self-checkup. I was just saying this last night. I should create a course on this, y'all. But y'all should do a spiritual self-checkup on yourself. You know how in the Bible would say you're supposed to have self-control, right? You got to assess yourself. Do an examination on yourself. And this should be done every day, actually. At the end of your day, you need to process your day and say, okay, this happened today. When I first got up, I was running around anxious and I was moving. I was running late for work. Now, what is it that I can do so that I'm not being late to work tomorrow, right? We use it as an example. So what you can say is I can get up earlier. I can go to bed. I can go to bed earlier, or which I can leave out 15 minutes earlier. Those are ways to assess the situations, right? Now, you might go on to something else like, oh, with Barbara, we'll say Barbara, for instance. Barbara gonna come over here to my desk while I'm working, gonna talk all that stuff, gossiping. Ain't nobody got time to hear all of that stuff. She better not come up to me tomorrow while we at work, because if she come up to me and talk that stuff, I'm be like, girl, get out my face and go back to your desk. I got some work to do. And you be like, I can't say it like that. You know. Now what you do is, you find a creative way to tell Barbara tomorrow to say, listen, Barbara, hey, honey, I know you probably ain't got no work right now on your desk, but I got to make these phone calls, or I got to go do something. I got to do my work. So I can't talk to you right now, but maybe we could talk later. All right, Barbara? You got to figure out how people take away from your time, because what they're doing is taking your energy. What they're doing is depleting you. They're garbage dumping on you. That's what they're doing. So you have to be in the right mindset when people come and garbage dump on you, if you're going to sit there and listen to it, to not receive it and welcome it into your spirit, that you rebuttaling it, rebuting it back out your mouth. You just throwing it back up, regurgitating it. Because Barbara done talked all this stuff that was so negative that by the next thing you know, you talking negative too. Because it's from Barbara coming to your desk every single day of the week, constantly implanting it in your ear, constantly showing you stuff on her phone that just is meaningless. You know what I mean? You got to come to a place where it's like, hold on, wait. And that's what we was talking about too. We was talking about boundaries. That's how you got to create boundaries for yourself from other people. When you on this mission to make sure that you are speaking positive thoughts about yourself or about other people, about things around you, seeing the positive in every single thing, you got to make sure that you have boundaries in place where when people are crossing that boundary and they begin to say something negative, because you're going to start paying attention. Now, it might be easier to pay attention to other people before you pay attention to yourself. But when you start hearing them talking that negative talk, you be like, let me call you right back. I got to go. Wait, hold on. Not right now. Hold on. I was in the middle of something. What you want? And as you do that over time, what's going to happen is eventually that person going to start calling your phone. You're going to look at that phone like, I ain't trying to hear that negative gossip today. Let me put the phone down. What do she want today? All she want to do is gossip today. All she want to do is just talk about her life. I ain't got time to hear that. I got other stuff to do. That's when you're going to get the true boundaries, right? But the boundary build up is when you're going to be like, oh, let me call you back. Oh, you shouldn't speak like that, Barbara. Or whoever on the phone, I don't know, but pay attention to what you are allowing in your ear gates, your eye gates. Don't worry about them other people. Forget them. This is about you. So that self-assessment, that self-examination that you should do on yourself every single day is realizing where you may have went wrong and how you can correct it, and where you may have been right throughout the day where you want to continue with that process, right? Thank you. Hey, D, I ain't seen you in a minute. Thank you. But you want to make sure that you know what I'm saying? You operating on this realm so that you can get your blessings and your prayers answered, right? This is about you. So don't let nothing or nobody penetrate your spirit with their negative talk. And don't you even allow it for yourself. You shouldn't even allow it for, God is gracious. Listen, y'all gotta really join the book club, because we was just having so many discussions, y'all. We was having all these discussions about everything, okay? But this one discussion we was talking about God, right? God to me is like a father. You got your father, you got your mom. Your mom gonna be kind of right. It's coming from a loving place, right? Women just are more concerned, and because of our nurturing spirits, we're more concerned. So we got to make sure everything is right and in order. So we gonna fuss and yell and all of that stuff, right? But then daddy over here sitting back chill like, oh yeah, oh, okay, that's how you do. Like, God be smooth. He be funny. He be smooth with it. He ain't all about beating your butt. His form of chastisement to you is making you go through the process to heal yourself. That's what the ultimate chastisement is. And if you don't want to heal yourself, you're going to constantly keep running. You're going to constantly keep being presented with that same problem, right? You ain't gonna keep getting on new situations because you ain't passing them tests. He just be like, oh, okay, you got free will. Go ahead, do what you gonna do. But I'll holler at you when you come back over here. Either obedience or sacrifice. Come on, this is how God talk to me. I don't know how God talk to y'all, but me and God, he be talking to me just like that, okay? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So he be talking to me like that, and God be like, oh, okay, I'll see you when you get back. You got free will. Go and do what you want to do. Go ahead. But you'll be back. You gonna walk over. What do you say? We gonna be the opposite though. You gonna walk over, but you gonna live back, right? You gonna walk over there, but you gonna live back if you come back over here with the sacrifice side of it, right? So it's better to just submit. Okay, God, what you want me to do, right? And then but he be so chill about it. We think that the chastisement is painful because we don't want to go through the healing process, but it's necessary for where you about to go. Where God is about to take you, you need to be healed, because I'm telling you, you're going to be dealing with so many people in the darkness that you're going to have to be able to be healed from that place so that you don't take offense, that you don't operate in those 7 deadly sins, that you don't operate in the spirit of greed or lust or anything like that. So where God is trying to take you, everything that he's giving you, every test that's being presented to you is merely to make you strengthen to handle where you're going. That's every job you ever been on. You are there dealing with different situations that is aligned with the path that God has you on. So you're supposed to be strengthening. Once you strengthen in that area, now the job is removed. You might get fired. You might quit and find another one or whatever. The person from your life gets removed because you done learned the lesson. It's time to graduate to the next level. So everything that's being done is not chastisement. It's God merely positioning you and preparing you for where he's about to take you. This is a place you've never been before. So it's like a kid that's been in the hood, right? Imagine a kid growing up in the hood and they ain't went nowhere, never went skating, bowling, to the movies. They ain't left the street. Only thing they ever did was play street basketball. They played football on the people grass. They did everything but leave the hood. And this is real life, okay? Like, I've seen kids. I've been around kids that said this. They ain't never did nothing. Ain't never went nowhere. They don't know what's outside their realm because they never experienced it. And that's the same with you. You don't know what's outside of your realm because you never experienced it. You may have seen it from other people that are living that lifestyle, but you never seen it for yourself to really know what's behind the scenes. And actually, and then that's why if what God wants you to do, He wants you to become. And that's crazy because yesterday we was just talking about chapter 2, where it was about becoming. Let me tell y'all exactly what the title was of chapter 2. By the way, we read in this book, Think This, Not That. And that's every Monday night at 8 o'clock. We reading from this book in the book club. And we were talking about becoming. Wow, this is awesome. Become self-aware to get where you need to go. Become self-aware to get where you need to go. You got to become aware of your thoughts. You got to become aware of the words, because God not gonna have you out here representing Him and you talking negative just as dark as the people that He's putting you around. He's putting you in the realm of people that need a way and help out. And if you're operating just like them, He can't use you. That's why He wants you to heal and work on you and fix you and build your character up to be what He needs you to be in your full power, right? He wants you to walk in your full power so that you can go out there and save the souls and perform His will just like He asked you to. But if you operating in the spirit of acting just like the people that's around you and in the darkness and the people that He's trying to get delivered from the oppression, He can't use you because you're oppressed too. That's all it is. He ain't trying to chastise you. We always don't like when it's time to do homework. Who like that every day? You get homework Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday you get this test. You got this big old exam. Like, really? Yeah, really. That's how life is. Life is like He's the teacher. The Holy Spirit is the teacher to guide you and lead you where you got to go. And it's to prepare you for the test that you got to take in your life, on your path. And when you pass those tests, you graduate to those next level. Now you open up more blessings and more, you have access to more things that's available to you because you've graduated to that level. You're not going to be in kindergarten taking an 8th grade test. He just can't give it to you because you said over here, oh, no, I ain't willing to pray for my enemy. I don't want to do that, God. Just get somebody else to do it. Give me something else to do, okay? Now you stuck. And that when God think you're ready to be presented with it again, what He'll do is He'll bring it to you again. You know, I asked you to pray for so-and-so. Go ahead and pray for him. In a small, still voice. He come, you going to pray for him yet? Is you ready yet? Nah, I'm still mad. I'm still walking in the fence because I'm in the past and they hurting me so bad and I ain't never gonna talk to them again. They don't know who they messing with. That's how we talking to God. No, God, you just don't understand. What? The one who created everything don't understand? How about if everything was created by God and for God, it's working out for your good, right? So God probably put them people there in order and made them do what they do to push you to your destiny. He put the haters in your path to push you on your destiny. You was getting a little too comfortable where you was. He like, it's time for you to keep moving. Go ahead. Let me bring this hater up right here for you so you gonna get comfortable thinking y'all cool and supposed to be. You supposed to learn something and keep it moving. That's why they say, we got people that come into our life for seasons and reasons and then lifetimes. Y'all want to make everybody a lifetime when some people merely only supposed to be a season, right? So understand who God is. When you understand who God is and what He really about, and that He ain't trying to be out here with a belt just beating you for no reason across the back because your mama or daddy did it, he ain't trying to do that. He ain't trying to do all that. It's that simple. And you going to sit over here and suffer in the confinement of your mind because you wasn't willing to change your mind. So now when He turns oh my goodness, when He turns your mind over to a reprobate state. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to look up reprobate mind. When He turn your mind over to a reprobate state, that's the worst place you could be in. That is a sinner who, wait a minute. It say unprincipled. Feel disapproval of. Let me see what reprobate man mean. morally corrupt, deprived, or whatever of something, foreordained to damnation, of or relating to characteristics of reprobate. But what is reprobate? A person who was looked upon as hopelessly bad. And the word is also sometimes used jokingly. There ain't no joking matter, is it? I don't know. I don't want, Lord, don't turn me over to no reprobate man. So that means they looked up as hopelessly bad. You looking upon people like, they just ain't got a clue. They don't understand. They ain't getting it. Is that a reprobate man? Like, seriously, because he'll let you, that's free will. He let you go ahead and have your thoughts to yourself. If you don't want to do what he wants you to do, okay, go ahead on over there until you're ready. And then when you're ready, come on back. But every day that you have on this earth, it's not an eternity. We can't sit back and keep playing thinking we got time, because we don't know when that time is up for us. Yes, the world gonna go on forever to affinity or what have you, but your time ain't. And time, that illusion of time is keeping you stuck thinking that you have more of it. It's not waiting for nobody. Before you look up, it's gonna be the end of the year. Where we in now? We in May? Yeah, we in May, y'all. I don't even know where we at. I just know we springing forward still, I think. But anyway, allow God to use you. But in order for God to use you, you have to change your mindset. You got to change your perception. If you want more, you have to be more. You have to become more, right? You got to want more for yourself. And I know you're probably tired of all of that negative talk. Everything is just negative. I want to find somebody I can talk to about my dreams, Lord. That's how we got to be. I don't know somebody. Where is the people at that I can open up and I can talk to and share and talk about things that I really want to talk about? You ever meet somebody and you on the street and you just like, oh yeah, how's the weather? Oh yeah, you seen the news lately? Like, why do y'all got to conform to what the generalized population uses conversation starters? You seen the game last night? Oh, did you see what's going on in politics? Like, why do we got to use that as a conversation starter? That's weird. Because it leads nowhere fast. You want to get around people that's going to strengthen you. God got them people for you. But you just got to do that little work, that little wilderness work that you got to do when he say, okay, get on your path because I got people for you. It's like Little Red Riding Hood, right? She had to go through the woods to get to her grandmama's house. Right? Yeah, she had to go through the woods to get to her grandmama's house. And baby, that big bad wolf was in the woods waiting for Little Red Riding Hood. She was minding her business, just singing and dancing and praising the Lord and hopping and skipping on the way to grandma's house, right? And the sneaky little devil came out of nowhere like, trying to tempt her. But Little Red Riding Hood was so focused that she kept on going to her grandmama's house. She ain't want to think about that devil. But she knew that it was a path that had to be taken to get to that destination. You don't just arrive because you say, okay, I want it today. We ask for stuff all the time and we really don't want it. And then when we get it, we don't appreciate it. We want something else. Oh, not that one, God. I want something bigger and better. Hey, Michael. So we want something bigger and better. So we be like, today we be talking about, I want this. And then we're rubbing our hands, eyes big, right? And then tomorrow we be like, that ain't really what I really wanted. You get with people, y'all ever get with somebody, and y'all be like, ooh, that's the finest person on the earth. Woo! Ooh, that person fine. And they smell good. They'll throw on a splash of cologne and they smelling good, looking good. Oh, you won't even hear nothing that they saying. It's like the red flag signaler just disappear, right? You be like this, la 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 la. You can't see nothing. But how the person looking good, right? That person looking good to you, and then you realize that it's a full-blown devil. This person don't have no conversation. If you be wondering, well, did you graduate school? You be thinking to yourself, what did I get myself into? He lied. This person lied. This ain't who this really is. Take that mask off. And then that mask come off, you be like, this ain't what I thought I wanted. That's why everybody, you hear people now. It's funny because I had said the same thing, but you hear people now that be like that's healed, and they be like, I ain't doing the picking no more. I'm gonna let God pick it for me because I don't know how to pick. I be done pick wrong. So you more conscious and aware about what you're asking for because you realize that everything you ask for may not be to your benefit. It may not be for your good, right? But sometimes God will give it to us like, okay, you really want that thing? Let me show you how much you think you want it, but you really don't want it. Okay, watch your words, watch your thoughts. Change them words and stuff, right? Start thinking about what you're saying so that you're more conscious and aware of what you're asking God to give you because you're going to get exactly what you pray for. And if you're not operating on a high level frequency, you're going to attract something on a lower level. It's funny that unhealed people be operating on a lower level frequency, right? They don't know that they have a mask up because they have a defense mechanism up, right? They're hiding because they don't want to be vulnerable and be hurt. But then they say, I want a good man of value. I want a good woman of value. I want a woman, but that person is not even in your frequency realm. Y'all on two different radio stations. You on this radio station, they on this one. It's not even in the same neighborhood like this. They not channeling in together. One may be an AM station and one may be the FM. So you think that you're going to get what you're asking for if you're not ready for it? Because see, God prepares us for that by making us vibrate on that same frequency before bringing us with what it is that we want. Because if we get it and we're not even vibrating on that level, we wouldn't even recognize what it is, the blessing that it is. That is what we really ask for. People fumble bags all the time when they don't see your value, when they don't see your worth, because they was operating in the flesh or they was not thinking clearly and they prayed for something and they thought that they wanted what they prayed for and it didn't come packaged like they thought they would, like they thought it would. They thought they was gonna get the whole nine, but the big part of the blessing that they really wanted was inside of that packaging that wasn't appealing to them. Hey, what's up? So it wasn't appealing to them, right? Now they fumble the bag. They fumble the blessing because they wasn't in that right place to receive it. They wasn't in alignment with what they were asking for, right? I done talk for an hour, y'all. Y'all done had me up here talking for an hour. Y'all ain't talking back. Talk to me. I talk back. What's up? Y'all like what y'all heard today? That's the message I got for y'all today. Y'all know I ain't gonna keep pounding it in y'all head telling y'all to change your thoughts. Cause see, you know what? This is a lesson for me too. I'm up here looking to myself, talking to myself. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's going on? But if that was a good message for you, I really hope y'all appreciate it. Also, this book, Think This and Not That we're working in. We gonna be on chapter 3 next Monday. Thank you so much. So we're gonna be on chapter 3 on Monday, right? And it's saying become self-aware to get where you need to go. And it ain't just for women. If you a man, go ahead and sign up to go on my community page and you could look up how to get inside the book club. Just send an email and then I'm going to send you the link. It's absolutely free. And if you want to become aware, we in there communing with one another, right? We're having a blast by communing and sharing with one another, and exploring the conversation, the topic. So even if you don't have the book yet, feel free to still join. We go over the book inside the club. Everybody gets a chance to speak, and talk about what their perception is from the book or what their perception is from what they feel like they've learned from it. So it's really a very good book to learn from. Yes, this is my friend. That's right. So that's each and every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's absolutely free. Okay, y'all? If y'all would like to join, go to the community tab. We be having a blast up in there. All right. Last night, I think we was on there for like 4 hours, but you don't have to stay that long. This is 2 hours. You truly learned from me? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, we learning from each other. You know what I mean? Y'all help me grow as well. It's not a one-sided street, okay? We're becoming, as we grow and go to that next level that God has us going to, we are constantly evolving. We're constantly spending time with God. That's why it's important to turn the TV off, put the phone down, and do a self-evaluation every single night, a spiritual checkup. It shouldn't take you no more than 10 minutes to do it, just to reflect every single day. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So, message received. All right. All right now. So, yeah. I hope the best for y'all. I really hope that you guys are operating on with the fruits of the spirit. Matter of fact, let's talk about the fruits of the spirit real quick before I go. I just want y'all to know what the fruits of the spirit is, so that you can kind of be aware. And even if you don't walk in all of them all at once, you can start with one, right? So we're going to go over these fruits of the spirit real quick. Love, joy, peace. And not peace ain't going into isolation thinking that because I'm away from everybody. Yeah, it's part of it, but you have to be able to know what's going to happen to you when you step back outside and get tempted in that same area you thought you was isolating yourself from people not to deal with, right? So you just make sure you know that peace is really peace, not peace because you went into isolation and then they go back to turmoil. We got to get that healing, right? So love, joy, peace, patience. Having patience with people is part of understanding, I believe. Kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and faithfulness to the God inside of you, right? We are God's, right? So God is inside of us. You have to be faithful to yourself. You got to be faithful to the God that's within you, not to the ego, to the God that's within you. Be faithful. Gentleness and self-control. So today we really hit on self-control. And, well, not really, but self-control as far as doing a spiritual self-checkup. Because we go to the doctor and we get dental checkups. We go get eye checkups. We go get annual checkups, wellness checkups. But we never really go get a spiritual checkup. And when we go to church, that message might be a message to activate you to do a spiritual checkup. But the pastor don't know you. He didn't preach to you one by one or do a one-on-one session or anything like that. The counselors that we go to, they don't really touch on your spirit. They try to heal you from certain perspectives, but they don't really touch on the spirit realm because half of them not Christian-based or godly-based. Hey, India. So it's up to you to do the spiritual checkup for yourself. You don't want your body, your spiritual body, to be unhealthy because you've allowed things to enter into your eyes, into your ears. Be cautious and aware because the enemy is always on the prowl. And if you be like Little Red Riding Hood, you ain't gonna stud that devil not one bit, right? You gonna keep right on going till you get to Papa's house. It ain't gonna be Grandma's house. It's gonna be Papa's house. All right. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your time. That is the most valuable thing that you can give me is your time. And I really appreciate it. Don't give nobody your energy this week. Don't feed into the negativity. Keep your energy and your power to yourself because you're going to need it. You're going to need it, all right? So keep it to yourself and don't let nobody try to take it from you either by force, the garbage dumping and putting you in a place where it's like you agitated. Don't allow that from nobody this week or ever, no most for that matter. But this week alone, just focus on that, making sure you don't allow people to garbage dump. Making sure you don't allow people to make you feel a certain type of way. That's bringing your energy down. When they can change how you feel on the inside. When they can change if you're happy and they want you sad or mad. They don't want you smiling. You smile in that devil's face, and you let them know, I work for God. You better let that devil know you work for God. Don't be scared. God got your back. He ain't gonna let your foot. He ain't gonna let your foot stumble, baby. Okay. He said, I can tell you what fruit is. I remember when the pandemic hit, I was laid off. It went over my head at first because I could have went back, but didn't. Long story short, my blessings go wherever I go. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? That's what he said in his word. Your blessings go wherever you are. So whoever take you in, they gonna be blessed. If you don't get a job, you still gonna be blessed. Yes, that is the. Mm, mm, mm. We needed that too. A lot of people didn't understand. Hold on. I had to fix my leg because I be sitting on my leg, y'all. But a lot of people didn't understand what that pandemic was about. It was really about a reset. It was really about getting us back to that 0 point neutrality because we was far on the left Richter scale and we was like focusing on the material aspects of life, and we were getting ourselves overwhelmed, stressed out, causing diseasements in the body, right? And then we had to get that reset going. And people who don't know how to sit by themselves or with themselves, they went into a whole frantic, right? Because they couldn't sit by themselves. They had to be around people. It just put them in their spirit in turmoil, right? And that wasn't really what it was about. It was about you getting back in touch with God that's inside of you. That's really what it was about. Getting back in tune with nature. Getting back in tune with the basic things of life, right? And it went on for a period of time, and the people who took advantage of it, took advantage of it. And the ones that didn't understand it, they lost that moment. They went right on back to work, back to struggling, back to stressing. Not stressing might have been feeling weird to them. And I'm quite sure it was so many workers who were first responder workers that would have loved to have that time off. And they would have took advantage of it to get them at a 0 point of reset. Now you're going to focus on what path you're going to choose now. Are you going to keep going down that path where you keep stressing yourself out? Or you're going to go down this path over here where you give it over to God? So yeah, that pandemic was something. But those that know, they know. Those that know, they know. They know. But I appreciate all of y'all. So that ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? They better quit playing. They don't know who they messing with. We can't be touched. And we ain't even got to lift a finger. That'd be the funny part about it. We don't have to lift a finger. Whatever you put out there and you do, you just got to realize that it's just going to come back to you. That's just what it is. It's part of the law of reaping and sowing, right? What they call that law? But that's just what you're supposed to get back. When you messing with people that you ain't supposed to be messing with, you going to hurt yourself. We ain't got to do nothing. But, yeah. That's it, y'all. That's it. That's all. I love y'all. I love you. And, I'll see y'all on the next video. But until then, if you want to become part of the book club, join the book club. Send an email right now. You see I got my phone right here waiting. I'm waiting on y'all. I'm waiting on y'all to send that right now. Okay? I got you. What's the question? I'm waiting on y'all to send that email so that y'all can sign up for the book club and we get that party started next Monday, 8 to 10. Answer you what? Why we so powerful? Why we so chosen? Because we got God on the inside of us. The most powerful being of all time, right? The great I am. Can farther hear you, if not spirit? You said I'm assuming it's saying, can Father hear you if you're not in the spirit? Is that what you're saying? God hear all of us, right? I believe God hears us. He hears everything. He created everything. He's like the great I am. He know all. He see all. He hear all. Think about the people in the world that are not saved, right? And that all they know is they need help. They in trouble because Jesus said, like, what the Bible say, every knee gonna bow, every tongue gonna confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. So when somebody usually go running back to God, it's because they done found themselves in a situation that they can't get out of, and they don't know where else to run to. So they gonna run to faith. That's what they gonna do. They gonna run to their faith, right? And well, the frequency that you're operating on, the vibration is still God. Everything is God. So no matter what, Jesus was created by God, right? We're all a part of God. We come from God. We are variations of God. So God hears everything. No matter, Jesus here too, but God hears everything. He created it all. But a person that's not saved and they cry out to Jesus and I don't know what to do, Lord, they don't know how to pray. They don't know how to really, they think they don't know how to pray because praying is really just talking and communing with God. That's what it is. Lord, what's going on with my life? I mean, you ain't got to be sitting here, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. They don't have to memorize that in the beginning. Yeah, the God wants you to memorize it, but you know, when you crying out to God for God to save you, and they starting out on that journey, he like, I'm right here. Here I am. Come to me, all that's weary, and I will give you rest. God said that. So all they gotta do, a sinner, all they gotta do is cry out to God. He gonna hear them. Mm-hmm. Truly, they give different gifts. That's how you pray. But yes, but I'm saying people that's coming into God, they don't know the Bible. They don't know nothing about the Bible. They don't know nothing about who God is or how he operates. All they know is that they mama's Jesus or their grandmama's Jesus until they get a relationship with them. So they cry out, and their prayer to God is going to be a lot different from someone who's fully aware of what to pray, right? As they come into God and they know, our Father who are in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That's how we do, right? But when in order for them to cross over into that realm, they like, Lord Jesus, help me. Oh, Lord, help me, Jesus. That's what they're saying. So they not speaking that prayer. Yeah. Yeah, that's how you pray when you cross over. But people in the world don't know that prayer. They trying to figure out who God is and what's this God I've been hearing about and how he a heavy stepper and how he do all these wonderful and magnificent and marvelous miracles and blessings and all of this stuff. They trying to figure out who is he. Half of them weren't even raised with him. So first they trying to test the waters and see pity pat. And then when they enter into that relationship with him, now God start leading them to things that he want them to know along the way. Okay, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. Now they're getting strengthened and they're no longer on the milk of the word, which is allowing other people to speak into their spirit. But now they're doing it on themselves. They're coming over to the food realm. God like, okay, you got to pray. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So God hear everybody. All he wants you to do is cry out to him. Whoever it is. Yep. Facts. That's it. So I love y'all with the love of God. I love you all so much. I do appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. Y'all want to say something else to me before we go? Y'all ain't got to be shy. I see y'all up there. Hello. All right. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in, listening to me tonight. And I'm not going to hold y'all anymore. It is 11:35. You said 3 prophets: fake, real, and evil. I don't understand that. Fake, real, and evil. They all living in their truth. All 3 of them. The evil one, his truth is to be evil. The real one's truth is to be real. And that fake one's truth is to be fake. But everything was created in God, from God, for God. And it's probably sometimes fulfilling their purpose. Some people's purpose ain't everybody else's purpose. Some people's purpose is just to come and wreak havoc among the earth, to help push us towards our to where God wants us to go. Some people's destiny and purpose in life is to be haters, spiritual haters. Like, it's real. And they spend their whole life. It don't matter who face it is. It be different faces. But they just run around to that same spirit that operate in all of us. And it pushes us, and they do evil things to push us towards God, to push us closer to God, until next thing we know, we in God's arms like, Lord, save me from these people. I don't know what they on, but they crazy. And we be thinking they crazy, Lord. They crazy. They on this lower level frequency. I don't know how to handle these people. And God like, okay, come on over here. That's their job, and they did their job, and you did your job by coming on to me. Yeah, so you human spirit. We talking about mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and spirit. I'm confused by what you said. But that's what God has for y'all today. I think I've said enough for today. He said, that's it. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much. I don't want to pick, because we are all, just like God is all. He's the great all of all. He's the God of everything. He don't embody one aspect. He embodies he's the Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nishi, right? Jehovah Rapha. He all of them. He ain't picking. He just choose to give you what you need in that moment, whichever part of him that you need to be, that you need for him to be in that moment, he is going to give that to you. But he is all of them. All of them is embodied all up in one, and God put that all up in us too. Human, the spirit, the body, the spirit, and the mind, right? We are comprised of all 3 of them. We are a soul, and we live in our body. But because we are all 3, we just have to choose which one we're going to operate in. Now, that's the thing. Which one we're going to operate in? We're going to operate in our mind or our spirit. But we still going to be human, or either way it go. We still going to be human. We still going to do human stuff. We still going to mess up. We're not perfect, because we're in a human form. We're in a lower level form than the great I am, right? He's perfect. He's like pure perfection. We are dust, but we are God as well. Here, let me go to this verse for you real quick before we go. Let me go to this Bible scripture for you. I want you to pull your Bibles out, so we could go over this Bible scripture really quickly. And I believe today we're going to come to you from the book of, let's see what book we're going to come to you from. We're going to come to you today from the book of Psalms, right? So the book of Psalms, and we're going to go, let's see if we should do the King James Version, all right? And the book said, I have said. Let's find out who said that. I have said. Hold on. Let's see who said I have said. We might have to go start from verse 82. I mean, chapter 82 altogether. Let's just start from 82 altogether from verse 1. All right? So we can get a full understanding of who said I have said, right? God presides in the great assembly, right? That means he presides in the great assembly within us. He renders judgment among the gods. What gods is he talking about? He's rendering judgment among. How long will you defend the unjust and show partiality to the wicked? Right? And then in verse 3 says, defend the weak and the fatherless. Uphold the cause of the poor and the oppressed. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. The gods know nothing. They understand nothing. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are shaken. So he talking about some evil guys right there, right? But verse 6, it says, I said, you are gods. You are all sons of the Most High. You are God. It's okay. And that's part of the belief system, that when we feel like we not God and God is a separate entity outside of us, yes, he's the great I am, but he's also on the inside of us as well. So that means he said, I said you are gods. That's a perfect example of a prayer when we ask for something and then we don't believe that that's what we are. We could say that we are children of God and we are very powerful and this and this and this. And then we could be like, I ain't God. He's somebody separate. I'm not God. We're dust. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know that you're God. God is on the inside of you. He declared. He said it, not me. So you a God. Truly. But he did say in verse 7 that you will die like mortals, right? Because we're in human form, but we still gods. Yes. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in and listening to this message today. All of you wonderful gods, all right? Y'all are really gods. So act like it. If God gave you that power and he declared that you are who you are, just like he is that he is, I am that I am a God. Now, he did say don't be worshiping other guys. You shouldn't be putting no other guys before him. You know what I mean? He did say that. Don't make no other guys before. So that means even yourself. Don't make yourself an idol over God. Because he the big G. We little G. So I appreciate y'all. I love you. And I want y'all to... I appreciate y'all for stepping in and listening and taking the time out of your day. All right? Until next time. Let's grow. I am.